All right, so every now and then a new story pops up in the crypto market that you just can't ignore. And today, we're digging into one that is moving incredibly fast, the x402 protocol. This is not just about some new token, okay? This is about a protocol that's trying to fix something that's been fundamentally broken about the internet since the very beginning. So let's get right into it.
So let's just start with this really big question. Have you ever stopped to think about what the internet's original sin actually is?
Well, the answer is kind of surprisingly simple, but its impact has shaped literally everything we do online. The internet was built without a native, built-in way to pay for things. Think about it. Every time you fill out a credit card form, every ad you scroll past, all of that is just a clunky workaround for this one missing piece.
Okay, so if that's the massive fundamental problem, what's the solution? Well, that's where the X402 protocol comes into the picture.
So what is this thing? At its heart, X402 is an open standard payment protocol, and it does something really clever. You know how you sometimes see a 404 not found error when a page is broken? Well, there's always been this other code, 402 payment required, just sitting there, unused, basically forgotten for decades. X402 dusts it off and actually puts it to work. The whole idea is to build a payment layer right into the existing pipes of the internet. Let's get into what makes this thing tick, because this is where it gets really powerful. First, it's HTTP native. Now, this is the absolute game changer. It means it speaks the web's native language, so any website can use it without some complex custom job. It's also chain agnostic, which means it's not picking sides. It doesn't care if you're on Ethereum or Solana or whatever comes next. This makes tiny payments, micropayments, not just possible, but easy. We're talking fractions of a cent to read an article or make an API call. And this is huge. It's built for both us, for humans, and for machines, so AI agents and bots can pay each other seamlessly.
And listen, this isn't just some theory on a white paper. This is happening like right now. Coinbase dropped the announcement back in May of 2025. Then by the middle of the year, you started seeing huge names like Cloudflare get on board, signaling their support. And then boom, October hits and the whole ecosystem just goes vertical. The momentum here is the real deal. And that momentum, it wasn't just a slow burn. It turned into a full-on market eruption. And this is the proof that traders are paying very close attention.
First up, let's talk about the money. We're talking late October 2025. The total market cap for the X402 ecosystem just blasted past $800 million. That is a huge amount of capital flooding into a story that's basically brand new. And the speed of it, it was just staggering. We saw some of these tokens jump over 360%. Not in a week, not in a month, in a single day. That's the kind of insane, explosive growth that tells you speculative interest is through the roof.
But look, it's not just the price going nuts. You have to look at the on-chain activity. Get this, a 701% increase in transaction volume in just 1 week. That's what tells you this might be more than just hype. Real people, real bots, they're actually using this thing. Okay, so with all this chaos and all this volume, how are traders actually playing this? Let's open up the playbook. So traders seem to be coming at this from about 5 different angles. First, you've got the infrastructure play. This is the big bet that X402 becomes the de facto payment layer for all of Web3. Then you have the momentum guys, the ones using volume as fuel, just riding that massive wave of growth. Some are playing the first mover, trying to spot the main token, the leader of the pack, like Ping. We're also seeing a lot of cross-sector flows, with money pouring out of other hot narratives like AI and into this one. And of course, you've got the classic risk/reward play, betting big on that high risk but potentially massive upside.
So if you're watching this space, here's a quick checklist of the signals you absolutely need to monitor. First, on-chain volume and new addresses. Is that number going up? Because that's your signal for genuine adoption. What about new token launches? That's a sign of a healthy, growing ecosystem. And you've got to watch for major partnerships. That's your mainstream validation. Keeping an eye on these things is how you can even begin to separate the real, sustainable value from just pure, fleeting hype. All right, let's pump the brakes for a second. It's time for a reality check. We need to look at the signals, the very real risks involved, and what you should actually take away from all this. Because the truth is, there are really only 2 ways this can go for X402. There are 2 futures. In one, the upside is
it becomes a foundational payment layer for the whole internet. I mean, truly revolutionary stuff. But the downside is just as possible. It could totally just be another speculative crypto bubble, all hype, no substance, that eventually pops. The stakes here, they couldn't be higher. So what's the one thing you need to remember? If you're looking at this space, whether you're trading it or just analyzing it, you have to frame everything around this one idea. Adoption leads to value, not hype. Don't get lost in the story, in the narrative. The only thing that really matters in the long run is genuine, growing, real-world usage. And that leaves us right back where we started, with the biggest question of all. Is the x402 protocol actually the next foundational layer of the internet? The real fix for its original sin? Or is it just crypto's latest and greatest speculative frenzy? The data is coming in hot, and honestly, only time is going to tell which one it is.